Episode number 65 of Making the Case. Everything revolves around consistency. Don't believe me? Stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? We back. Another episode number 65 of Making the Case. I am your host, none other than Dr. Jacob Isom, educator, author, speaker, entrepreneur, content creator, consultant, father, a little bit of everything. All right. Hey, um, let's go over our two channel norms before I get started. One, we attack points and not people, and then two, we don't do all that cussing and derogatory stuff. Because we like to keep it professional. Sorry, like if I seem a little out of sorts, it's been a long day. It was a very long day. Um, every day is long, but today in particular was long, and then of course you got to record and edit and do all that good stuff. So, but you know what? We here. We don't make excuses. We work. We put in them 12-hour days. But I got a vacation coming soon. But I'm gonna still try to record on schedule, just to let y'all know. Okay. So but your boy need a vacation. Got a good one coming up. All right. So today's episode topic for today's episode is everything revolves around consistency. Now, let's get into my opening statement. If you know me, those who know me very well, they know I'm a stickler, or I'm a person that always talks about the importance of consistency, right? Um, it's the reason why I get up around the same time every morning. It's the reason why I work every single day. It's the reason why I eat certain things consistently, right? For me, consistency is the reason why I am who I am today. And consistency, in my opinion, is the road to success in any endeavor that you choose to do. So I'm a living testament of it. And I think a lot of other successful people, uber successful people, or just people that's successful in general, will tell you that, well, the key to their success is consistency, right? We understand hard work, we understand timeliness, we understand accountability. We understand a lot of these different facets when it comes to being successful, but consistency is right up there at the top. All right. So in today's episode, what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down the many multi-factor reasons of why consistency is the key to success. The consistency is the key to losing weight. Consistency is the key to making becoming a established entrepreneur, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So we're gonna go over and we're gonna give you a lot of different keys and a lot of different information to why consistency is important. Some stuff you probably heard of, some stuff you might not know is the reason why certain things are the way they are because of consistency, right? Um, in particular, right? I think everybody is familiar with when it comes to working out. Because I used to be one of these people. Like I'll work out for a couple weeks, get a pretty, routine schedule. I don't see no results, and then I just give up. And I imagine a lot of people have done that before, right? But you have to remain consistent over the long haul, right? But what one thing I did notice for me personally, when I included the diet with working out, that's when I really saw results. Right. So sometimes it's just about adding another layer and another factor in. So and that's just one example when we talk about our physical health. But we understand the importance of our mental health as well. So excuse me. So what we're gonna do is I have three pieces of evidence. We're going to go over why and make our case why everything revolves around consistency. Literally everything. Let me show you how. So let's get into our first piece of evidence. All right, so let's get into our first piece of evidence. We're talking about how everything revolves around consistency. Okay, so I have a article from a platform called Zated. I'm sure I'm butchering it. I apologize. All right. So first time using this. So this article is titled "Why Consistency is Important: 9 Game-Changing Reasons." Okay. So let's get into the reasons why consistency is so important. As I'm saying it is. So let's get it. Excuse me. All right. In today's fast paced world, it's easy to get swept away by the constant demands and distraction of daily life. But have you ever stopped to consider the power of consistency? Consistency is a driving force that can impact all aspects of your life. Remember me saying that? From your career and relationship to health and personal growth. Consistency is the act of regularly and reliably performing tasks, actions, or behaviors in a steady manner, which is crucial for establishing trust and reliability, encouraging good habits, boosting efficiency and productivity, and helping achieve long term goals. And I would say that when it comes to communication, which is super important, excuse me, it's like I got something caught in my throat. Communication, super important. Um, Showing up, I always say the best ability is availability, right? Particularly in a relationship, right? At work, at your job. Like, I mean, if people can't count on you to be consistent at your job, you're not going to have your job, right? If people can't count on you to consistently show up for them when they need you, then they're not going to want to be with you, right? So I think we understand just those two very simple aspects of consistency, how they're literally key for our everyday lives. So their number one thing is establishing trust and reliability. Absolutely. I understand that establishing trust and reliability is essential for your personal and professional growth. Let me share a table that highlights the key aspects of trust and reliability and how consistency plays a crucial role in them. Oh, let's see. They say building rapport and relationships, maintaining credibility, improving decision making, consistent thought processes and analysis enable you to make more informed, reliable decisions. Absolutely. Developing a strong work ethic. Sticking to a routine consistently, meeting deadline, demonstrate your dedication, professionals. Absolutely. This is the reason why I choose to work every single day. All right, unless I'm on vacation. But because of that consistency, now I know that hey, I also turn out, a lot of content. I turn out a lot of ideas and things of that nature because I'm consistent when it comes to my work. Enhancing emotional intelligence, consistently practicing empathy and active listening, foster trust and understanding relationships. So, of course, in order to build trust, you have to be consistent, right? Because the lack of consistency breeds mistrust. Sounds simple to me, right? Encouraging good habits. Consistency is crucial in developing and maintaining good habits that pave the way for personal growth and success. When you commit to a consistent routine, it becomes easier to form new positive habits while eliminating negative ones. For instance, if your goal is to improve your physical fitness, sticking to a regular workout schedule helps ingrain this practice into your daily life. The reason why people struggle when it comes to physical health or really even mental health or anything is because they get off their routine, that consistency, right? Like consistency is so built into the things that I do, my everyday life, that when I slightly get off of it, I don't feel right. Like, it's just something like, okay, I'm not doing just like how hopefully we consistently bathe every day, brush our teeth, hygiene acts, right? Like that's ingrained in us, right? The first thing I do when I get up in the morning is brush my teeth. It's ingrained in me. I know that's what I'm going to do. When I go to bed, brush my teeth, right? So developing those habits, you can develop those habits in anything that you want to do. You just got to be consistent. Let's see what they got for number 3: boosting efficiency and productivity. Absolutely. One crucial aspect of consistency is how it significantly boosts your efficiency and productivity. When you commit to performing certain tasks and sticking to a daily routine, you begin streamlining your activity, which ultimately results in more effective use of time and resources. One thing as a writer, um, when I go to work on a book or a project or anything like that, I always make sure that I develop a routine and a consistent thing for, because each one of my books that I've wrote, I've had a different writing pattern or a different way I go about the research and stuff like that. It really just depends on the title and topic of the book, where I'm at in my personal life, things of that nature, right? But I always try to maintain a consistent writing pattern and a consistent schedule of when I'm going to write, how I'm going to go about it, and things of that nature. So, yes, it can boost your efficiency, your productivity when you have that set schedule. And sometimes set schedules don't work for me, but I know that, which is the reason why working every day works for me, because like I know I'm going to do something in that day. I take my 24 hours very seriously, and I hope you do too. So, helping achieve long-term goals. Have you ever set a long-term goal and struggled to see it through? Consistency is key. When it comes to achieving these aspirations, by consistently working towards your goal, you can make steady progress over time rather than getting bogged down by short-term setbacks or distractions. Think about the marathon runner who trains every day for months leading up to the event. They don't complete one master training session and call it a day. They break their training down to smaller tasks that they accomplish each week. And once again, I know I keep going back to this, but that's the reason why I work every day, because I can do smaller increments of things, right? And knowing that the next day I'm gonna get back to something, right? I mean, I've probably been doing the 7 day a week thing probably for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's been working for me very well. So it's a reason why I've published books, got degrees, um, produced content, etc. In the last 4 or 5 years, I've accomplished a lot of goals. So I'm a living testament to it, which, by the way, is my very first book, The Living Testament. All right, shameless plug. Builds momentum and credibility. When I consistently work towards my goals and habit, it builds momentum and credibility in my personal and professional life. Here are some ways: demonstrates reliability in myself and others, increases self-confidence in my abilities. Absolutely. Attracts more opportunity due to established reputation, shows dedication to success even when faced with challenges, proves commitment to achieving long-term goals, establishing trust with loyal customers or clients. And I'm just gonna stop right there, and then we're gonna go to the 6: foster self-discipline and responsibility. Responsibility. Absolutely. And being disciplined is not easy, but consistency allows you to maintain that discipline, right? Like, it's hard maintaining the diet that I have, which, by the way, I'm on the OMAD diet. And if you don't know what that is, it's 1 meal a day, right? It's not easy, right? But the consistency helps my discipline of making sure I stay on it. Now, do I snack? Yes, but I don't only eat one solid meal a day, right? And that's dinner. So, but the consistency helps with that for me. 7: reduces stress and anxiety. Consistency can greatly reduce stress and anxiety in our lives. When we have a routine, stick to it, we create a sense of predictability that can make us feel more safe and secure. And that's really how the brain operates, right? On predictability, right? We want to be able to, because there's so much stimuli out there. Like, if we literally paid attention to every single thing, it'll drive us crazy. So the brain wants to be able to guess what's going to happen next. And I know for some people, they're like, oh, I don't like predictability. I like to, fly by the seat of my pants. Like, the excitement gets some people, but it can also be part of the problem too. So I like knowing that every day I have this schedule and I'm going to do certain things, and I'm gonna feel accomplished. I'm gonna feel like I'm getting goals done, etc. I don't know. I like that feeling. I know some people don't, but I don't know. I think I do talk to a lot of people that are talking about they're stressed or they anxious, but I think having a consistent schedule will help with that. So, in my opinion, and in this person's opinion too, create opportunity for progress and growth, and then the last one enhances personal development. So there are the 9 keys to success, consistency, right? And I agree with every single one of them. So if you want to reduce stress, if you want to get in better shape, if you want to have a better work ethic, um, if you just want to improve your overall life, being consistent, being in a routine, um, being consistent will help you be disciplined. So, um, like I said, like for me, it works wonders for me because I've been able to establish consistency when it comes to my diet, when it helps my mental health, it helps the work that I put in and get done. So, I mean, it works out for me, and I think it will work out for you. So, I think you should give it a try. All right. So, that was my first piece of evidence. We're going to get into my second piece of evidence and go even deeper. We get even more things that consistency actually helps out with. So let's get into it. All right, so let's get into our second piece of evidence. We still continue with making a case on why consistency is everything, man. Um, we have another article. This is from a platform called Up Journey. Never heard of it. First time using it. Um, Titled "Why is Consistency Important?" 26 reasons. So we have even more reasons to why consistency is everything. Is key. Is important. Okay. I'm sure we're gonna hear a repeat from the last piece of evidence, but it's just further backing it up of why consistency is the key. So let's get into it. Um, See what they got to say. What other reasons why consistency is important? Imagine you have 2 friends who want to learn a new skill. One of them practices every day for an hour, while the other one practices only once a week for 7 hours. Who do you think will learn faster and better? Huh? The answer is obvious. The one who practices every day. Why? Because consistency is the key to mastering any skill. Why do they say repetition is the father of learning? Because if you keep doing it over and over, the consistency is what gets. And that's one thing that our kids are really lacking. Really, most people are really lacking, right? If you want to be successful, be consistent, right? It don't matter you rich, poor, what have you. It's all about mentality and mindset. Um, why? Because I said that. Sorry. However, consistency is not only important for learning new skills, it is also crucial for achieving your goals, improving your habits, and living a fulfilling life. Um, what is consistency? You may ask. Consistency is a fundamental aspect of success in various areas of life. It's about maintaining a steady, reliable pattern of behavior, thought, and action over time. Consistency is also about the quality of doing something regularly and reliably over time, not being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about being persistent and resilient, even when you face challenges or setbacks. Not doing the same thing over and over again without any change or improvement. It's about learning from your experience, adapting to new situations, and evolving as a person. And I think that's probably the most important thing with consistency is adaptability, right? Which is, to me, adaptability and availability is 2 of my strongest suits, right? That helps make me successful. All right. You got to be able to go with things off the fly because things are already going to happen as you plan them. And you got to be able to be there. You got to show up. All right. Let's see. They talk about personal habits, of course, exercising, eating healthy, practicing self-care routine, which I think a lot of people got down, right? When it comes to hair, nails, makeup, um, you know, etc. Right? A lot of people got the self-care down packed when it comes to consistency, right? It's just that that exercising, that dieting that we struggle with. Trust me, I struggled with it too for a very long time until I found a diet and a exercise routine that fixed me. So, um, business practices, um, goal setting and achievement. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we can get to anything that was new from consistency is key to achieving long term goals. That the last one kind of touched on that. Um, consistency build a strong work ethic. The last episode touched on that. Last piece of evidence. Consistency promotes discipline. Also touched on that. So we're seeing repeats pretty much. Skill development, it touched on that as well. Habits and routines, touched on that. Progress tracking. Didn't touch on that. Keeping track of how you're doing is much easier when you're consistent. This is true whether you're losing weight, saving money, or working on a project. You can see patterns and measures progress when you have a steady stream of data to look at. Staying on track becomes manageable because you know where you are and where you want to be. You can adjust your efforts if you see that you're not making the desired progress. On the flip side, measuring your advances can be highly motivating. It's encouraging to see concrete evidence of how far you come. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense though. Um, in order to be able to look at the data and in order to be able to see where your strengths and weaknesses are, you have to be able to be consistent, right? Consistency allow you to look at, okay, I've been doing this for 7 days straight. What do I need to change? What do I need to do more of, etc.? That's a very good point. I never thought about it like that. Consistency reinforcing a positive reputation. The last one did talk about that. Dependability, trustworthiness, reliability. If you really want to be an influencer, right? If you're not recording on a schedule, if you're not recording consistency, how can you really influence people, right? So, makes a lot of sense. Consistency promotes mental stability. Let's look at what they're talking about with this. The regularity brought about by consistency can be incredibly beneficial for mental health and overall well-being. Embracing a consistent lifestyle helps to create a sense of security and predictability, which are essential for a stable mind. Absolutely. Consider the impact consistency on mental wellness through these points. Stress reduction, improve sleep patterns. So you want to be able to consistently get a certain amount of sleep. I think I get anywhere from, if I can get 5 to 7 hours, I'm good. Right. I don't think probably I've got 8 hours or more of sleep since I probably was a teenager. So for me, 8 hours is probably not that realistic sometimes, but most of the time not. So emotional equilibrium. A consistent approach to managing emotion leads to a greater peace of mind. Absolutely. And it's really about mentality, right? I try to talk to the young kids all the time. I was like, man, I used to tell my players when I coach, I was like, man, the game is mostly mental. And it's not just sports. I'm talking about with life, man. This is mostly mental, man. It's mostly emotional. So what I see on a day-to-day basis, because I work with people every single day, right? I get to have a case study, a longitudinal study on people all the time. I study human behavior, right? I see people when they having conflict, it's always a heightened emotions. It's always lack of listening, lack of communication, right? But all of it is centered around relationships. I'm going off somewhere different. So let me reel myself back in. But we still talk about the same thing: consistency, controlling your emotion, consistency, communicating. So it's just all so important. Consistency strengthens resolve and determination. Holding firm to your course day after day strengthens not just your ability, but also your inner resolve and determination. When you're consistent, you develop a kind of mental and emotional muscle that helps you push through tough times and not give up. Because let's be real, we all go through it, man. We all go through it. Consistency encourages a proactive mindset. That's kind of what I was just talking about. So you have to be able to, kind of like my last episode was talking about, you have to be able to see the bigger picture, right? Like I know a lot of times we be so enmeshed in moments, but we have to be able to say, you know what? I can't let this moment get me down or stop me from the bigger goal and the bigger picture. Right. And I think this is what consistency helps with your mindset. Right. Understanding that, okay, yeah, I may have a setback, but it's just a moment. Hey, let me keep going and do what I do. Consistency cultivates patience, which I know I'm a work in progress when it comes to patience. I imagine you are too. Consistency is vital in fostering the virtue of patience, especially when progress seems slow. Consistently putting in effort, even when immediate results don't appear, teaches you to trust the process and appreciate the incremental improvement that signify growth over time. I know when I was going to get my PhD, um, it took me 5 years to get. I was growing weary, even though I knew the light was at the end of the tunnel. But I was like, man, it was this constant setbacks that I feel like I was having, and I was growing a little impatient, man. But I would say being consistent and working the way I did towards it, it really did help because I know that okay, I'm gonna get it done. It's just that, you know, when somebody just marking up your stuff and saying fix this and fix that, you're like, dang man, like I've been putting in all my work, all this work. So anywho, but yes, I definitely get that point. Crucial for maintaining physical health. I think we understand that. Managing stress, endorsing resilience. The last one talked about that. Consistency, maintain momentum for success. Absolutely. Um, One way to maintain success and keep on the track because you've heard it before. Like, I mean, it's hard to stay on the top, but one way to stay on the top is to remain consistent. So, consistency help build trust in relationships. We already talked about that. Establish a strong brand. Predictable outcomes. Contributes to accountability. Be accountable through consistency involves ownership, transparency, reliability. So definitely get that. Um, Consistency align actions with visions, enhances focus and concentration. Consistency minimize distractions, shapes leadership qualities, and consistency increases self confidence, forms a productive lifestyle, key to project management. And yeah, that's about it. But no, those were some good ones, man. Uh, I definitely get all of those. So um I know that was a lot. That's the reason why I didn't read through all that, but the ones I definitely just at least want to touch on kind of the headings to show you that man consistency when I say it is everything, it involves everything in your life, right? So if you want to figure out why you're not getting certain results and certain outcomes or why certain things negatively happen to you or this that, look towards consistency with whatever you're doing. Are you consistently hanging around people you shouldn't be around? Are you consistently listening to and watching and looking at negativity? It all goes back to consistency at the end of the day, right? So start there if you want to change things. All right. So let's wrap up this episode with our third piece of evidence. Let's get it.
So if you were to go to the gym, right? It's like exercise, right? If you go to the gym and you work out and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing. And if you go to the gym the next day and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing, right? So clearly there's no results, can't be measured, it must not be effective. So we quit, right? Or if you fundamentally believe that this is the right course of action and you stick with it, like in a relationship, I bought her flowers and I wished her happy birthday, and she doesn't love me. Clearly, I'll give up. You know, that's not what happens. If you believe there's something there, you commit yourself to an act of service. You commit yourself to the regime, the exercise. You can screw it up. You can eat chocolate cake one day. You can skip a day or two. You know, it allows for that. But if you stick with it consistently, I'm not exactly sure what day, but I know you'll start getting into shape. I know it. And the same with the relationship. It's not about the events. It's not about intensity. It's about consistency.
All right, there you have it. That was my piece of evidence number 3 to kind of cap off why I believe everything revolves around consistency. So once again, he used a very common example of working out, right? Because I think that most people have experienced that, if not all, right? Of especially like with New Year's resolutions, right? We start working out, and then eventually most people give up because they're not seeing results. Because at the end of the day, we got to understand we're results and outcome driven, right? If we're working hard, we want to see some money, we want to see some physical change, we want to see something comes from our work, all right? Rightfully so, right? But the key to it is consistency, right? So we got to be able to sacrifice, be patient, put in the work. We will get the results eventually, right? And of course, it's going to depend on how often you're doing something, right? But I definitely do agree with it's not about intensity, it's about being on a routine, being on a pattern, right? Constantly putting in the work, you will get the results, right? So, hopefully that this motivated you, this episode. Hopefully this put you into a different perspective. Hopefully you understand that you can and will get success if you understand how important consistency is, and that you can look and take inventory of the different aspects of your life, the different things that you want to improve, and look at it and say, you know what, I'm not a consistent enough at this. Let me start doing more of this, right? And sometimes it's just a matter of like decreasing something else and then increasing something, so it really is about just looking, take assessing the things that are going on, looking at the things that you don't like, your strengths, your weaknesses, and etc., and really coming up with a plan. At the end of the day, it's all about planning, plotting, strategize, and consistency. All right. So I think that's a great way to end this episode, man. Hopefully, you took some nuggets of information. I always like to tell the kids, like hopefully everything didn't go in one ear and not the other. At least if you could take 15% of it, hey, I think that's a win. All right. So, but as always, I want to thank you for coming by, stopping in to making the case. I wouldn't be me without you. So once again, you already know if you got any topics you would like me to make the case on, definitely shoot them my way. You have my social media handle and all that good stuff, my links to my website. If you need a consultation, definitely hit me up. And hey, we'll get it popping. All right. So as always, I'm you are me, love always, love eternal. Remember, the worst thing you could do is lie to yourself, and I believe that we have made that case, baby. All right. Deuces. One love.